welcome to episode number 7 of Brockport Made. I'm your host, Alex Henderson. Joining me on today's episode is Brockport alumni, Reilly Workman. Reilly, thank you for coming on the show today.
Thanks, Hendo. Thanks for having me on. Looking forward to it.
No problem. So let's just get into some questions right here. So you were alumni of Brockport. You graduated last spring, part of the baseball team as well. And now you're a graduate student out at Boston College. So you continuing your education out there. I just want to know, so how is it being a student assistant for the Boston College baseball team? And like, what are some of your responsibilities that you're doing out there?
Yeah, so that's what I said. I started my master's in sports administration here in August, helping out with the baseball team in their operations department. It's great. I love my job here. It's like right now we're number 24 in the country, so I get to work with a top-ranked baseball team as well. And some of my responsibilities include like logistical stuff. I help with like hotels and food and travel. And then during the game, I'll take care of some of our scouting with our pitching charts and handling all that stuff, make sure they upload to our scouting program called Synergy, where it's like basically just like a video editing system. So I'm in charge of that and just kind of go wherever I need to be. Like there's some days where the coach's arms are sore, so I'll jump in, I'll throw batting practice. So just do kind of everything, but I love it. It's a great time to be here and I love being here.
That's awesome. I would love to have positions similar to that. So a little bit of jealousy in there. But so going on off of that, so what was the transition like going from Brockport, small Division III school where we have total of 8,000 enrolled students on average to a big school, Division I college like Boston College?
Yeah, I mean, it was a little bit of an adjustment period. It's kind of funny. One of the guys here kept laughing at me when I first started. It's like, we're not in Kansas anymore. It's like we have resources and funds that there's so many things that I just kind of did. And they were like, we have people to do that. Like bringing in like catered food for all the meals instead of just making up a PB&J. So like, it's been a little bit of an adjustment period, but I love it, man. It's been great. I hopefully get to stay here for much more than just a year in my program.
Nice. So, going back to your time here at Brockport, so being the former president of the Student Athletic Advisory Committee, also known as SAAC, have you carried over any skills used or that you've learned in that role to where you are now?
Oh yeah, absolutely. There's a lot of things, not even just being president, but just being in SAAC can help you take transition over here. Like some of the things like my time management skills, having to fly the planes and do all that stuff while still getting my baseball stuff and my schoolwork done, doing that. Also being able to work in a group environment, like with SAAC, like we had a lot of people give invoices and be able to work with others in a team setting. So kind of do that here with like our director of baseball operations and coaching staff who I'm working with on both ends and trying to make sure everything's getting facilitated right. And so there's been a lot of skills that I've been able to transition from SAAC now to here at BC.
Okay, nice. And staying on the topic of Brockport, what is one of your favorite memories from Brockport, whether it was baseball related or SAAC related or not even any like sports or athletic or academic related, but just a good memory that you had that you'll always remember?
Yeah, it's kind of funny. So I was thinking about this one. It's actually one of the last memories I have from Brockport because of everything getting canceled with COVID. It was our teddy bear toss last year at the hockey game where we raised over 700 teddy bears for the Bavonia Child Advocacy Center. It's like, I remember that moment so great because we were so excited, getting ready to go and hopefully get a lot of goals. We could see those teddy bears fly, and it was just like a transition period, waiting. We're all getting stressed out, and then they scored, and it was just like, it was a great memory seeing all those teddy bears fly. And like, I still watch some of those videos on my phone of all the teddy bears and the TV cameras shooting those. So like, it's kind of funny. It's one of my favorite memories, but it's also like literally one of my last memories from Brockport.
Yeah. So, and yeah, I remember that too. It was patient. You had to be a little patient, but we got there and it was good. So being that you do come from a baseball background from playing and now you're working as a student assistant, are you the superstitious type? Like, do you have any like rituals or anything that you do or used to do or still do before a game?
I'll quote The Office for it. I'm not superstitious, just a little stitious. I wasn't too overly superstitious with anything. I mean, I would have, if something was going right, I tried to tend to stick with it, whether it was like what I ate before the game or what socks I wore that game. Like I wasn't crazy. I didn't have anything set. It was just kind of how I was feeling and what was going on in my life and how the game was flowing. Like if something was going bad and I wasn't getting hits, I used to change bats. I'd grab a different bat thinking that was going to work. I mean, that's not the reason why you get more hits or you don't get hits, but baseball players, we all know we got some weird kinks and superstitions going for. So like I wasn't the most superstitious, but I also wasn't terribly not.
Fair enough. So, what is something that now that you wish you could go back and tell yourself as a freshman in Brockport, being where you are now?
I definitely say just like enjoy it, because I never realized how fast the time goes. And then especially having it getting cut off like that, like it did, without having my senior day and having a graduation, it's like, I definitely would go back and just tell my freshman year self, just like enjoy the ride. Don't take anything for granted and think, oh, I'm going to have another day at this, because I think we all can take a note from this that you never know when that day is going to stop.
Mm-hmm.
COVID camp happened in May or March. Never forget that date, March 13th last year. It's like the world ended and everything is now I was forced to be an adult and move on in my life. So like I'd go back and tell myself like just enjoy it and don't take anything for granted and love what you do.
Yeah, just a year anniversary over that date where, everything started going crazy. So, but we're a year later and now we're back and SAAC, we're starting up play here shortly.
Yes,
so it's
awesome.
Good to see what can happen in a year. So that's good advice though. I like that though. That can go to anybody listening, take that advice because, same here. I'm last year, that's my last semester here and it goes by fast. So that is some good advice.
Yeah.
So what is something that you would tell someone who's thinking about or interested in getting involved in SAAC?
Yeah, SAAC was great. I mean, I started out spring of my freshman year, just becoming a member and then working towards up on the board as well. But like, it's a great place. You get to meet a lot of great people, great passionate people, a lot of athletes. I still have a lot of my friends are through SAAC, and you just get able to get involved and give back to others. Like SAAC is a tremendous platform to be able to give back to people less fortunate in the community, like the Bavonia Child Advocacy Center or Special Olympics or things like that. So like, if you're definitely passionate about giving back and learning with others and helping with others, and SAAC is your place. Like Ali DeFalvio, the president now, she does a great job with her board. They're doing a lot of great events, it's a little bit difficult now with COVID. It's not as easy to just plan events, but from what I've heard, they're doing a great job. So I definitely get involved if you were thinking about it and reach out to her and about everything you can.
Nice, good advice. And well, while you're living in the big city now compared to Brockport out at Boston, what is something you miss the most about Brockport?
Brockport's got a lot of great things, but one of the things I miss the most is Jimmy Z's. Just be able to go there and just grab a garbage plate. Like nobody in Boston knows what a garbage plate is. When I tell them, it's like, you eat those things? Like, man, I loved them. The garbage plate, I always got the All-American plate. It was fantastic from Jimmy Z's. Just being able to go on like a Friday night with the guys or my friends, just go to Jimmy Z's, grab a milkshake, garbage plate, hang out and just sit there and watch the people come in and meet all the guys and stuff. I miss that so much.
You should see now they have some these shakes too where they got the little Debbie's in them.
Oh wow. So, I gotta come back then. We gotta come back.
Gotta come visit.
I gotta come back, you and me, we'll go get a shake, Hendo.
Deal. Sounds like a great idea. Whenever you're free, come on by. So now last question here that I like to end the show off on, that I like to ask everybody: how has Brockport made you?
Brockport was one of my favorite memories my last 4 years. Like it shaped me so much. Like I said this before in like my senior athlete luncheon speech about how Brockport's such a family, and it's so true. Like, so I said, I still have a ton of my great friends. We bounce ideas back and forth off each other. Like nobody thinks that they know everything. Like we help each other. We help everybody succeed. And like, it just gave me a work ethic and a passion as well. Like that D3 environment that Brockport is a part of, like we were able to work hard and still compete at the highest level. So like everything that I learned there at Brockport, I'm taking here now. And like, I'm doing some job interviews or internship interviews elsewhere. That's what they all ask me. It's like what my undergrad taught me. And I'm like, it's definitely a work ethic and that family environment that like, as long as we're on the same common goal, we can all achieve something great. And that's definitely what Brockport made me. And I'm so grateful that I got recruited to go to Brockport, man. Some of the best 4 years, well, 3.5, I guess, technically, because of COVID. But I love it, man. I wish I could go back to living in Dobson Hall freshman year, living on that third floor with gymnastics team, baseball team. Like, we had a great time there. So I said, man, it taught me so much, and I miss every second of it.
Well, Reilly, thank you for coming on the show today. Do you have any like closing statements or closing regards that you want to shout out there? Or?
Shout out to you, man. This has been a great series. I've loved watching all of them so far, and keep up the good work with everything you're doing there with Gil and the rest of administration.
Thank you. I appreciate that. We're doing our best, and we're going to make sure that this 2021 spring athletic season is good to go and in tip-top shape. So again, thank you for coming on. I appreciate you taking some time out of your busy schedule for doing this little interview here.
Thanks.